last night that I joined your yoga class with 1 minute left, and
Oh,
everyone was done.
did I not tell you? I woke up yesterday at 4:59, sharp, in a cold sweat. I was like, it's Friday and I have yoga, and I didn't send anyone the email. And then I got out of bed, walked around my house, and I was like, it's not Friday. Wasn't great. Okay. Let's hit it. People will join, they'll come in, but we have quorum, as they say. Hi, Kara. Can just yell if you guys can't hear me. Hi, son. Hi. Okay. I'm gonna hopefully not blow my speakers out, but if I do, someone just start yelling, and we'll go from there. But we're gonna start on our knees this morning. And perfect. If you want to make it a little bit more comfortable for your knees, sometimes I sit with a block in between my feet like this. Can you guys see? Yes, no, yes, cool. And for now, just grab your hands into the tops of your thighs, and you can flutter your eyes shut. If this doesn't feel really comfortable for your feet being laces down, you can also come up and like tuck your toes, whatever is more comfortable, but it's really early, so maybe I recommend laces down to start. And, let me see this time. You can just roll your shoulders up into your ears and then melt them down your back. Big inhale, roll the shoulders up. Exhale, melt them down the back. One more big inhale, shoulders come up to the ears. And then melt them down the back. Put your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly. Big inhale here, expand the diaphragm. Hold it at the top. Exhale, sigh it out. Big inhale. Hold it at the top. Exhale, sigh it out. Big inhale. Hold it. Exhale, sigh it out. Biggest inhale yet. When you hold it at the top, see if you can take another sip in. Exhale, let it go. Your hands can come down to your thighs. Big inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Make a noise if you want. You can flutter your eyes open. And from here, your option to keep the block or book or whatever you're sitting on under your butt if that's comfortable, but we'll tuck our toes. So we're gonna stretch the backs of our feet. And the one thing I really recommend, you guys, is that your heel comes like directly under your butt. So make sure your heel's not coming out to the side like this, because that's gonna be really painful for your knee. So option to tuck your toes here and stretch the bottoms of your feet. If that's super uncomfortable, you can come into tabletop position like this, and then just kind of stretch one at a time. And you'll just switch like that. But if you're on your toes, on your knees, think of sitting in a straight line, your hips, your shoulders, everything. There's a string pulling up from your tailbone, up through the crown of your head. Your right hand can come to the right. Maybe it touches the mat. And your left chest will twist up towards the ceiling. Inhale back to center. Left hand comes down. Right chest kind of twists up. Really gentle here. And then come back to center. Tap the toes out. And for this one, it might make more sense to move if you're sitting on anything out of the way. Your knees will come together, and I'm gonna make a cross with my feet. So the top of my right foot is coming into the arch of my left. And then you're just gonna sit. Yeah. This one, our yoga instructor calls foot up the asana sometimes. That's where you laugh. But we like walk on our feet all day long, and I mean, I don't do anything to help my feet out, but this one is my favorite. So if you want, you can kind of like move your right foot around into the bottom of your left. And then your right hand will actually come to the ground, same stretch as before. Right hand gently, yeah. And your left chest might come up. Beautiful. Big inhale here. And then exhale, come back to center. You can move forward and tap your feet out. And then your left foot will cross on top of your right into that arch. And you'll sit back onto your heels. And just notice the difference in maybe the tightness of the bottoms of your feet. For me, my bottom of my right foot is much tighter than my left. Kind of wiggle that left foot around into your right. Your left hand can come to the ground here. And just a gentle lean. Maybe you look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Big inhale. And then exhale, come back to center. You can tip forward onto tabletop hands, tap your feet out, and then grab your blanket or towel, whatever you guys have. And we'll fold it hot dog, not hamburger style, and you can just roll it up so it's gonna look like a pool noodle. Perfect. And you can keep sitting on stuff too, you guys, if it's really nice for you. I totally recommend that. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna come back onto your knees, and our noodle is gonna tuck into your knee crease. Like so, yeah. And then, same alignment, your heel is directly behind your knee. Just sit back. Yeah. This one is something else. If you run a lot, I have super tight calves, which is why I really tight feet, which some of you guys might find. But this one is just awesome. You can kind of lean more into your right butt, yeah. Gently. And then work your way back through center. Maybe lean more onto your left. Nice. And then when you're back in center, lean forward, and then you're actually gonna move it so like before we were on the top of our calf, and then there's like the bump of your calf. And then move it to the bottom, like where your calf and your Achilles tendon kind of attach. And we'll just kind of lean back, same thing, maybe loosen that out a little, maybe make it a little thicker. that right butt cheek, that right heel a little more. And then as you work through center, come onto the left. You can work your way back to center, and we'll come to Malasana, which is this little squat guy. So again, you can sit on a block or a book or a pillow or whatever if you don't love this. And if your heels are up like this, that's also totally normal. But this towel is tucked right behind your knee, as you're in your squat. It'd be helpful if my towel wasn't the same color as my floor or my mat for you guys, sorry. And you can, same thing, kind of move a little bit towards the left. And then a little bit towards the right. Maybe find that gentle rock a little bit more to the left. And to the right, Grab hold of the towel. You're gonna stand up this time and plop it where you would find your hip crease. And then super bent knees because it's really early. And you'll just make your way over. If you want, I might double, like loop mine so it's a little thicker. And you'll just take a very, very gentle forward fold. My knees are super bent here. And the towel's tucked up into my hip crease. So you can even like come up and retuck it. Hands can come to shins. Lean more into that right side. And then come into the left. Gently sway back over to the right. And then to the left. Slowly bend the knees. And as you roll up, you can ditch the towel. We will eventually revisit it. From here, you're standing, you can actually just step back to your down dog and keep bent knees this morning. So I'll stay sideways for a minute. My feet are pretty wide, maybe to the edges of your mat. Bent knees, hips are pulling up and back. Look at your hands and walk them back like a foot and a half. So your feet are bearing, your legs are bearing most of the weight here. Your right hand will dive underneath your left arm, connect to the outside of your left leg for your twisting down dog. Option to bend into that right knee. As you work your way back through center, your left hand picks up, works its way to the outside of your right leg. Maybe it grabs your heel. Option to bend that left knee this time. Make your way back to your down dog. And you'll actually just walk your feet up to meet your hands. Bent knees here. And look at your left foot. Just kind of pop the heel and then place it behind the right. So I've twisted like kind of at my knees, but I'm super, super bent. So the outside of my left foot is touching the outside of my right foot. And this might look like your feet might be way more separated. That's a little bit more gentle. But you'll feel an outrageous stretch on the outside of your IT bands, so your outer hips here. Especially your outer left hip. Bend the knees, come back to feet together. You'll pop the right foot this time. It'll come behind and cross, so you have crossed legs. Keep the knees bent. IT band stretch on the outside of your left hip this time. Right hip for you, sorry. Bend the knees, you can reset the feet, come back to standing, and super bend, slow roll, all the way up, hands to heart center. You can come to the front of your mat, somehow I ended up in the middle, and you'll inhale your arms high here. Exhale, dive the body down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, right leg steps back, knee touches down. Low lunge, arms rise. Hands plant, surround the left foot. Tuck the toes, step back and lower. Inhale to your forward facing dog. And then push back to your down dog. Inhale your right leg high. Pull it in, knee to nose. Foot plants. Left knee touches down. Low lunge. Arms rise. Nice. Hands plant. Tuck the back toes. You'll step forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, slowly roll up. Head's the last thing to come up. Arms high. Exhale, dive the body down. Inhale, halfway lift. As the hands plant, the left foot steps back this time. Knee touches down. Low lunge. Top two ribs are knit together. Perfect. Hands plant as you step back and lower into your forward facing dog, and then push back to your down dog. Left leg rises, pull it in, knee to nose, step on it. Back knee touches down, arms rise. Nice. Hands plant. Tuck the toes, step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, slowly roll up. Arms come high. Hands to heart center. Arms rise. You can look up a little. And then bend the knees as you roll into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you plant the hands, step back to your high push-up. Think of one long line from the tips of your heels through the crown of your head. Lower down, chaturanga. Forward facing dog. And then push back to your down dog. We'll hold here for a couple breaths. Deep inhale. Exhale. Think of pressing into your thumb and your pointer finger. Come up on the tiptoes, bend the knees, hop, step, or jump, somersaults to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Bend the knees, roll up to stand, arms come high. One more time, dive the body down into your forward fold, knees bent, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back to your high push-up. And think of extending back into your heels, so I'll show you from the side. I kind of just want to do a little bit of rocking because it's nice stretching for your heels, but it also is nice core activation. So think of pushing back into your heels and then pushing yourself forward. Yeah. Rock back onto the heels. Push forward. We'll do that 3 more times. Push back. Rock forward. For 2, push back and forward. For 1, push back and forward. Come back to center. You can push back to your down dog from here, actually. Big inhale and exhale. One more big inhale. Exhale. Bend the knees, look forward, hop, step, or jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Super bend your knees, roll up to stand, arms come high, hands to heart center. This next series is really, really cool. It basically goes like pose, balance, pose, balance, pose, balance. I think you guys will like it. I really like it. But if you have any questions, just yell. I'll try and move around so you can see me a couple different ways. So we'll inhale our arms high here. Exhale, come down to your forward fold, bent knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, step back to your high push-up. Move through your vinyasa or push back to your down dog. Nice. Inhale, that right leg high. Pull it in, knee to nose. Step on it. Take your runner's lunge hands, so tented fingertips. Maybe your left leg moves out a couple inches to the left, just to give yourself some stability. Ground through the feet. Come up to your high lunge. Beautiful. Open up warrior 2. So your back heel spins down. You're standing into the outer edge of your left foot. Nice. Reverse the warrior. Left hand comes to your left glute. Right arm rises. Keep that bend in your front knee. And then slowly start to straighten that front leg. Nice. See if you can reach up and out any further here. Then you'll start to shift forward. Your left hips will kick out. And then once you hit a point where like my head and my hips are kind of even, you guys will find this all somewhere different on your bodies. Your right hand will come down to the inside of your right foot, maybe your calf. You could even use a block here. Whatever feels good for you. Option to keep your left hand on your hip, or you can peel open. Wherever your hands are, I'd like for you to look down this morning to protect your neck. Okay. From this pose, you can move a block to the front of the mat, a book, a a water bottle, or you don't need anything. You just need your hand in the ground. But we'll shift forward to half moon. So think of someone pulling with a string the edge of your heel, your left heel, up and out of your body. And you'll shift forward onto that right leg. Keep a generous bend. Your right ribs, left ribs are opening to the left. Beautiful. These look good. Gently replace the leg. You'll come back to warrior two. Nice. Look at the left leg, bend, and step it forward. So your feet are parallel. You have like 2 feet in between. Yeah. Roll the shoulders back. Wiggle your hips a little bit. And then think of hinging the hips backwards. Keep a bend in those knees as you start to work forward into your pyramid pose. Nice. Head drops. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back down. And the balance here is standing split. So your hands will walk. I like to put them maybe like 6 to 12 inches in front of my feet. And think of pushing into your hands. So you're not sinking into your shoulders. Your left leg will rise. Inner left thigh spins up towards the ceiling. Toes are activated. And think of using your glute to lift the leg up. Big inhale. Exhale. And your next breath, you can gently lower the foot down. From here, just bend your knees. You can actually just come to the ground. Pick the ribs up off the pelvis and then lock them over your right leg. Nice. We'll take revolve triangle here. So you're already getting a rotation when you're low, where you have the room. Keep that rotation. Your left ribs are moving towards the right as you elongate your legs into your revolve triangle. Nice. Try that one more time. Super bend the knees again. Reset. Pick the ribs up. Put them up and over the right thigh. Perfect. Lengthen the legs. Awesome. And then your left hand will shift forward a little bit. We'll take revolved half moon. You can leave your foot on the ground and just kind of play with balance here, everyone. Or same motion. Think of someone pulling up that left heel, left inner thigh spinning up towards the ceiling as you revolve your chest. Nice. Gently replant. And you can actually just step back to down dog. Maybe take some figure eights, paddle your feet out. And then you'll inhale your left leg high this time. Pull it in, knee to nose. Step on it, take your runner's lunge hands. Maybe your right leg moves out to the right a little bit. And then you'll open up, or you'll come up to your high lunge. Grounding through the feet. Think of really feeling all 4 corners of that left foot pressing into the ground. The ground is pressing you back up. So don't sink into your butt here. Let your legs hold you up. Yeah. Open up warrior two. Left leg's in front, standing into the outer edge of that right leg. Nice. You'll reverse your warrior. Left hand comes high. Think of reaching up and out of that lower body. And you'll start to straighten that front leg. Maybe keep a micro bend. Yeah. As you start to tip forward, your hips kick back and out. And you're reaching. There's a bend in my knee here, so I don't hyperextend. Maybe you come down to a block, to your shin. Head is looking down. And I'll actually have you put your arm up this time because it does help with the balance. Think of shifting forward for your half moon. You're pulling up and out of that right leg as you balance on the left. Bend that left leg. These are nice, you guys. Gently replace the right leg. Come back to your warrior two. Bend the back leg, pick it up so your legs are parallel here. You have some space, yeah. Roll the shoulders back and then kind of shake your hips out. And then you'll shift forward, hips hinge back with a flat back as you take your pyramid pose over your left leg. Hands can come down as you inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back over that front leg. Balance here is standing split, so your hands will move maybe 6 inches to 12 inches in front of your front foot. As you shift forward, push into the ground, inner right thigh spins up towards the ceiling as your glute lifts your leg higher. Breathe here. Can you get your leg a little bit higher? Replace the leg, and then you can just bend your knees. Same, I'll come this way this time. Same thing as before, so you'll pick the ribs up and place them over that left leg. Yeah. Tuck the back toes. You have your revolution down here. Start to lengthen the legs as you take your revolved triangle. My left hand's on my left hip, right hand is on the ground. It's actually kind of like pushing on the outer edge of my left foot, so I'm feeling an opposition like on my working leg, my front leg. Super bend the knees again, reset the ribs. Pick up the ribs off the pelvic bone, pick them up and put them over, and then we'll tuck the back toes, take revolved triangle. Balance here is revolved half moon. So my right hand will shift forward. I'll shift forward with my weight. Left foot has a generous bend. And someone is just pulling my right leg up and out of my hip socket. Inner right thigh spinning up to the ceiling. My ribs are revolving to the left. And if you're wobbling, you're doing the work. Gently replace the legs. Hands can plant. You can actually just step back to your down dog. Shift forward to your high push-up. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale to your forward facing dog. And then push back to your down dog. Right leg inhales high this time. Pull it in, knee to nose. Step on it. Your back knee will touch down. and then move it back a couple inches. And then I also recommend moving your right leg out a couple inches as well. We're gonna play around with head to ankle pose. This one is, it's like humble warrior, but on the ground. So your hands can plant in front of you. You can even have your right arm threaded underneath your right leg. But really what this looks like is your head's gonna come down to your ankle. But the way to get into it that we've been kind of playing around with in teacher training is bring your head down to your ankle and don't sink into this hip out to the left. Keep everything aligned. Your head will come up to the front, out to the left. Look down at your belly button. Try and get your head as close to your belly button as possible. And then bring your head down to your ankle. Option to come down on that left elbow. Yeah. Big inhale here. And then exhale, your hands can come back to center. That's an intense one. You can actually just step back to tabletop and push back to your down dog. Your left leg will inhale high this time. Pull it in, knee to nose, and then you'll step on it. Take that low lunge and move the right knee back a couple inches. Left leg will move out, like you're gonna take lizard lunge. An option here to take lizard lunge, you guys too, if this feels too intense for you. So for head to ankle, your left hand this time can thread underneath the left leg. And think of just someone's pulling your head down to your ankle. Your hips are staying in line, your knees are staying in line. Your head comes up towards my voice, out to the right. Look at the belly button. Bring your head into your belly button, and then your head will magically come closer to your ankle. Option to come down on that front elbow. Big inhale. And then exhale, you'll unwind. And you can come back to tabletop. Tuck the toes and press back to your down dog. You can flow through vinyasa or just stay there. There's an option for everything. And you can now move to the front of your mat. Walk, hop, jump, bend the knees and roll up. And grab a sip of water for a second. And while you grab your water, you can actually grab your books or your blocks, whatever you're using. Or your towel actually works too. Okay. So, make sure whatever you're using as your props, can you guys see my feet? I'll move back. Are even height. So if you want to like fold your towel, yeah, also a great option. Love that. So once you're set, you will stand on said props. And we're gonna take a forward fold up here. So think of really bending your knees and just shifting forward. Your hands can come to your toes. They can try and reach the mat. Maybe they stay on your ankles or your shins. But try and work your hands as close to the mat as possible from, you now have this vantage point. Maybe bend into that right leg a little bit. Bend into the left. And then find equal weight. Bend the knees and roll up. Step off the blocks or props. For this one, I'll come sideways. Your toes are going to be propped up on whatever you're using as a prop. So heels are on the ground, toes are elevated. I don't know why, but the Olympic speed walkers just came into my head, like heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Think of rolling your shoulders back, neutral all the way through your pelvis. We'll actually bend the knees here as you roll down and take your forward fold. So I feel this forward fold more in like my calves, my Achilles. Maybe play around with bending more into one leg or shifting weight more onto one side. And when you're ready, you can walk yourself up your legs again. Step off. Shake out your legs for a second. We have one more. Last one. You're wearing heels. So your heels are up on your props, up on the mat, books, whatever. And we'll come into our forward fold from here. So shift the hips as you work all the way down. Relax any tension in the neck. This one I feel more like my upper thigh, like at my hamstring and my glute attachment even. And then you can bend the knees, roll up, and you can step off your blocks. We don't need props anymore unless you guys want them. But from here, we'll actually just step back to a down dog really quick. Inhale your right leg high. And pull it in, knee to nose. We'll step on it here. Come up to your high lunge. And then open up warrior two. Take your flying warrior. So come up on that right heel. Parallel the toes. So both your toes are facing the side of the mat. Your hands will come to your hips. Shift the hips back as you work down into your straddle here. Walk the hands to the left foot. So my right hand is on my left toes. My left hand is on my left heel. Yeah. So you're like in a twisty little situation. Bend into that right leg and then straighten it. And then you can release your hands, but we're gonna put them right back. Move your left foot closer to your right. So there's like maybe like 3 fists in between my feet. Perfect. Your left hand, same arm that we took in head to ankle, will come underneath and grab the outside of your ankle here. The outside of your left ankle, yes. So it's like twisted under like this for the outside here. Pop that left toe, move the foot in again. My right hand will come to my right hip. We're gonna slowly, yes, start to stand up with our heel in our hand for Bird of Paradise. Beautiful. Yeah. Option to stay here. So your heel is like up and in, and your knee is out on the outside of your arm. This is plenty. If you want to extend with that flexed foot, bent standing leg, you can try and extend here too. Yes! Nice, everyone! Happy Friday! I love it. Gently come back. You can shake it out. And then actually just hug that left foot, that left leg into your chest. Beautiful. Option to take a standing twist here, just gentle. Right arm hugs the left knee in. Beautiful. And then we can actually just step back to our down dog again. And we'll do it on the other side. Left leg will inhale high. Pull it in, knee to nose. Step on it. Come up to your high lunge. Nice. And then you'll open warrior two. Ground through the feet. And then take your flying warrior. So you'll pick up that front heel, parallel the feet. Hands comes to your hips. You can keep a bend here in your knees. Shift forward. Take your center split. Yeah, or straddle. Hands come down to the ground. And then you'll walk to your back leg. So my left hands are on top of my right toes. My right hand is on my right heel. Maybe bend into that left foot, left knee. And straighten. And then release the hands. Pick up the right foot and step it closer to your left. So there's like maybe 3/5 of distance in between my feet. My right hand will come to the outside of my right heel. So it's like curled underneath. Same arm as we took in knee to ankle. Move that foot in, pop the heel. Start to shift your weight over to the left foot. And you'll start to stand with your hand and your heel connected. Yes, beautiful. Option to stay here. Option to unfurl a little, extend through the heel. Arm can come out for balance. These look so awesome. When you're ready, you can come back in the way you came. Beautiful. You can hug that right knee into your chest. You can take a gentle standing twist here. And then release it. You can shake your legs out. And then just squat down. Let's start with, put your legs in front of you, actually. So, soles of your feet facing me. Sit up high on your sits bones. The legs are wild. Your right leg will move out a little bit to the right. Your left foot and the heel will hug in against your right thigh. Perfect. Yeah. And think of plugging that right leg back into your hip socket. So you're sitting on top of everything. You're really long through your hip bones. Your hips are actually even. If you were to like touch your hip bones, one wouldn't be higher than the other. Yeah. Think of extending up, taking a long flat back, and then actually just walk down the leg. Use your hands, walk down the leg, see if you can get your belly onto your thigh, relax the top of that thigh. Inhale, halfway lift. And then exhale, take that fold again. Walk the hands back up the legs. And then you'll just switch. So your left leg comes out long, right foot tucks into that right thigh. Pull the left leg back into the hip socket. Hips should feel even to you. My dance teachers used to say if you have two headlights on your hips, they should be even on the wall in front of you. So flex that front foot. Think of taking a long spine, and then just walk down the leg. Maybe the left elbow rests on the outside of the left leg. Relax the top of that thigh. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold down. And then walk the hands back up the leg. Shake the legs out and put them in front of you. And think, same thing, pull those legs back underneath your body. So really long back, long spine, perfect. You can inhale the arms up high here, but I kind of like the walking forward motion because you keep a flat back for longer. So you can walk forward down the legs as you take your forward fold. If you want more, you can put a block or a book on the outside of your feet to reach for more. And once you hit that point, you can lengthen down, drop the head. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, lower down. Walk back up the legs, shake them out. This one is called the neck traction pose. I don't know the Sanskrit word for it, but think of your feet stamping into the ground, and your arms are gonna loop in from the outside. Yes. Your head will come forward, and maybe you just gently grab like your temples. For me, I'm grabbing like my jaw even, and it's very, very gentle. I'm just putting some light, it's like a light pull. Nice. Release that. And you can actually just make your way onto your back. Keep your feet stamped into the ground. We'll take maybe one or two restorative bridge poses here. So with your feet planted into the ground, knees high, think of picking up your hips, lengthen the low back. Put your hands at the nape of your neck, like where you can feel your skull kind of jut out. Pick that up and pull it long, very gently. And then your hands will come flat. See if you can kind of graze the bottoms of your heels. Roll the shoulders under as you lift the hips up. Think of the knees coming forward over your toes. Big inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, gently lower down. Pull the knees into the chest. Maybe you rock back and forth. Loosen any tension in the low back. And then your knees can drop over to the right for your supine twist. Right hand might come to your left hip, push that hip away. Come back through center, pull the knees in, and they'll rock over to the other side. Left hand pushes the right hip down and out. Big inhale. And then exhale. You can come back through center and lengthen out the legs. Think of rolling the shoulders underneath the body. Let's do that same adjustment we did before. Lengthen the low back. And then bring your hands to the nape of your neck, like by your skull, and just lengthen the neck. Hands can come down, palms facing up. As you start to reflect on the practice today, maybe you got deeper in a forward fold than you have in a long time. You loosened out some knots in your feet. You balanced really well. You laughed with yourself. And just take that one positive thing, that one piece of gratitude through the rest of your day. When you're ready, you can start to lengthen your breath. And you can pick one side, kind of topple over. Knees might curl into your chest. Big inhale, prepare for movement. Exhale. Use the strength of your arms to push you back up to an easy seat. Option to keep your eyes closed here, or maybe focus on a point. Inhale. The shoulders come up into the ears. Melt them down the back. Roll them back. Spine is long. Your left hand will come to your heart, your right hand to your belly. Big inhale here. Exhale, sigh it out. Biggest inhale of the class. Hold it at the top. Take in another sip. Exhale. Namaste. Can I take a photo? There's so many people.